there's just something like comforting when it all comes together. A lot of possibilities, I guess, of what you could turn it into later. But for us here, even, it's a good like family meal for the staff because we eat noodles all the time. Sometimes you just need something different. I'm Chris Teigland. I'm the chef and owner of Glow Noodle House in Denver, Colorado. Today we're making Wagyu steak fajitas. Steak, guac, peppers, and onions. And then if you add salsas and everything else, it just gets better. But I think those three components kind of make your solid base to a good fajita. We're gonna use a skirt steak, really good marbling. Can be tougher if you overcook them, but they're perfect for fajitas. Honestly, I prefer them to like a filet or anything. They just have way more flavor. You just have to make sure that they're cooked right and that you're cutting them right. So that's the two biggest things. To prepare the skirt steak, depending on which butcher or shop. Yeah, I'll start again. Man, I do a lot of ums now that you said that. Wagyu skirt steak. It's beautiful. It's got a little extra fat on the outside that we don't need, or it's really just gonna burn on the grill. To prepare the skirt steak, you're gonna wanna trim a little bit of the excess fat. And if there's silver skin on there, you're gonna wanna get that off before you apply any seasoning. You just gotta look and see, like, is this an excess amount of fat? Yeah, you probably don't want too much on the outside, but you can leave a little bit just because that's gonna add flavor too. The best part is the guacamole, mainly because you can dip chips in it after and you can make enough to last a day or two. I never put tomatoes in my guac. I know some people love it. I don't think it belongs there. You can add as much chili as you want. We did 2 serranos, but we made a huge batch of guac. A little bit of red onion. And the trick with the serranos or jalapenos and red onions is just to cut them really, really small. You don't want like a huge bite of raw onion and anything really. It kind of wrecks your palate. And then a lot of lime, cilantro, and salt. So super simple. Don't overcomplicate it, but if you try it and you're like, I want more lime, you can always add more. Don't do too many red onions either. Your partner might not like you for the rest of the day.
Morning lights, new dawn, yeah, we ready for more. Breaking out newborns, driven by the allure. Facing life head on, blowing fresh at the door. No limits, all in it, yeah, we ready to soar. Every step that I take, every move that I make, anticipating, no more waiting, elevating the stakes. I'm full stride, eyes open, captivating the scene. True life, my time, liberating my dreams. Every challenge that I'm seeking to meet, I'm overcoming, steady grinding, keep my beat to the street.
A lot of people hate unfloured tortillas and they're like, you can only use corn tortillas or else it's not authentic. But there's a ton of spots in Mexico where they're like known for flour tortillas. It's not like right or wrong, and you could use a corn tortilla for this. They might not hold up as well. And sometimes there's just a flavor with a corn tortilla that'll mask some of the flavors in the fajitas. That's why I prefer to use the flour anyway. We did a mango habanero salsa, which I know is like super gringo in ways, but we just charred some mango, some onions, charred some habaneros, a little bit of lime, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of water just to help it blend until you're happy. You want it to be well blended, but you could add more lime or more salt. It just depends on how you like it. And obviously you could add as many habaneros as you think you can handle. Adding the mango in there makes habaneros a little more palatable to most people. We did 2 for that whole batch. Sour cream, at a lot of places you'll go to, you notice it's not as thick as it is in the tub. Good trick that a lot of places use, you just add like a little cream to that and stretch it. A lot of it is just that it's really hard to plate anything with super thick cream. So making it a little looser like that helps you spread it across like the fajita or tacos, whatever you're eating it with. So a lot of people with fajitas, they buy like marinade packets and spices, and like that's fine. If it's like a cut of steak, that's probably a good move to like add some flavor. But with like a really good, say, skirt steak, it's gonna have so much flavor already that I just like to put a little bit of oil and just some salt on there. For this one, we used smoked salt and a little bit of regular salt, so it just adds a little more flavor too, but you don't want to take away from the steak flavor that's already there. So putting a bunch of spices in there, you're just kind of doling down something that already tastes awesome. Don't say the S word. Am I good? Oh, okay. The S word. You never want to overcook a skirt steak. It'll get really tough. They are really thin. So you want to make sure that your grill or your cast iron, whatever you're cooking it in, is really hot. So you want to get a really good sear on one side. And then when you flip, get another good sear. And really, as long as there's like good color on there and everything's hot, you're gonna be at a good point. Medium rare is perfect, like somewhere in that range. But if you leave it too long, you're gonna be left with a little bit of a tougher, chewy steak. Like our grill here is like 700 degrees or something. It's super hot, so it's gonna get a good sear really quick. But you could achieve that with your grill. You could do cast iron. Like you almost want it like smoking before you're adding the steak to it. So you don't want it to be coming up to temp when you throw the steak on.
Make sure it's ripping.
Peppers and onions are kind of similar to the steak. You want to make sure that your pan's hot, oil's hot, and when you're adding it, you don't want to cook them to where they're soft and like mushy. You just want to make sure it's really, really hot and that they're getting a little bit of char, but you don't want to be left with raw onions either. So you're just leaving them on there to get some color on them basically, and that they're firm and not raw. If you overdo it, that's like going to Qdoba and you get those like mushy peppers and stuff. If you can make tortillas, that's always going to be the best, but let's be honest, people don't always have time for that. It's not super convenient, but they do taste the best. And then there's stores that sell fresh tortillas. Those are gonna be awesome too. Worst case, if you have to do what I did and you just run to King Soopers and get some flour tortillas, you can just char them on the grill for a little bit. And then wrap them in some foil, let them steam, and they'll get nice and soft. I think the char just adds like a little more flavor to it. It's a good way to make like a tortilla taste good. Your instinct probably with a steak like this is to cut it this way. You're gonna have a lot more of a chewy steak. So the cut a skirt steak, they're thin and long, and the grain runs this way. So in essence, you wanna cut against the grain, but when we grilled it, we're taking the piece off and cutting it into more taco or fajita side slices and then cutting against the grain. Otherwise, you're gonna be left with these like 1 foot strips. If you cut it right, cook it right, skirt steak is one of the most delicious steaks there is. Okay, so you have your steak, your tortillas, your peppers and onions, your salsa, sour cream, and your guacamole, and cheese if you want it or not. And the way to build a fajita, for me, I like to load a lot of peppers and onions on the base, and then throw on a few slices of steak, and then we're gonna do guacamole, the sour cream, a little cheese, and a little salsa. You have a little bit of fatness from the sour cream. You have the cheese. You have the guac with a little bit of acid. You have the spice from the salsa. And then the peppers and onions, honest to me, just have like this awesome texture, but the char flavor with those, with the steak, everyone's happy. Today we're making steak fajitas, mother.